Welcome to Using Your Teacher Voice, episode 8. And today, I want to touch on digital citizenship. This is an area of personal interest of mine. This is something that I spend a lot of time talking with my students. I think this is a very important area that needs to be discussed and discussed more. Today, I want to talk about digital citizenship and the story of Dan Golden. You may not be familiar with Dan Golden's name, but you're familiar with his video. You might be familiar with his video. This is the guy that was filmed beating up the Uber driver. As the story goes, Dan Golden was he was out and about drinking. He was drunk, called an Uber. The Uber guy came to get him, but then Dan Golden could not verbalize where he wanted to go. He could not explain to him where it was he wanted to go. So the Uber driver decided that the ride was over to drop him off in a parking lot. This is when Golden, before he got out of the car, attacked the Uber driver. For that, he got pepper sprayed by the driver, and then he got arrested for public intox, drunk and disorderly, battery. He got several charges on him. This story is probably not that uncommon, that there is a video of somebody doing something not okay. But this story has two real interesting elements to it, I think, that make it an important lesson when it comes to digital citizenship. The first lesson is that when the video first came out, it was called Uber Driver Attacked by Passenger. The video went kind of viral. It got picked up. It got shared a lot. It got picked up by some news organizations. Really quickly, it didn't take long before people got a name to it, Dan Golden. Once the name got there, then it was real easy to find out that Dan Golden was a PR executive for Taco Bell. And then the video, as it was reposted and shared and whatever, the name was changed, or the name kept getting changed into things like Taco Bell executive attacks Uber driver, PR executive from Taco Bell beats Uber driver. That's an important lesson, that there is no anonymity online, right? And I think our students know that. I think that's kind of obvious, but there's no anonymity. And it doesn't take long for, once these things start to spread out, people find these things out. But here's the really interesting part of this story, and I think that what makes it meaningful for us. When the video was taken, yes, Dan Golden was a PR executive for Taco Bell. Originally from Owensboro, Kentucky, he moved to Louisville, Kentucky, and got a job with Yum Brands. He kind of moved his way up into where he was working with the Yum Brands division, Taco Bell. This is a PR guy. He should know better, right? Well, as soon as the video went viral and the name got attached, Taco Bell's name got attached, they didn't want to be wrung through the mud, right? So they summarily fired him. Our real world can be impacted by what we do in the digital world. Okay, and again, I think our students know that. That's nothing new. But the interesting twist to this story is that this was not something Dan Golden did himself. This was not a self-inflicted event that got him fired. Okay, so for some clarity, yes, what Dan Golden did was wrong. Beating up a guy, not okay. Not okay. Yes, Dan Golden was drunk. Dan Golden did beat a guy up. And so that, in and of itself, yes, he did start this. But the video that was posted was not his video. It was not a video of him that he posted, not thinking what would be the outcome. This was a video that was taken. It looked pretty obvious that it was, kind of out there in plain sight, that, he should have known he was being videoed. But, this is a video that was posted about him, and then that video went viral. Yes, he started it by his actions, but the posting of the video and the actions that happened online were not really due to anything that he did. He didn't start that. And I think that's the real key message that we should be sharing with our students. That there are many times when something something online is done by somebody else. take, for instance, when they're at somewhere and somebody takes a picture and they get posted in it. Or even more interesting, like they're kind of off to the side of another picture and Facebook has that facial recognition and it picks up their name and people just automatically tag them in it. What about when somebody takes a picture and then gives this little kind of snarky whatever caption to it that makes the situation seem much different? I know you're all familiar with, like, when you take a picture of somebody randomly and it's at that awkward moment where their face looks weird or their eyes are rolled back or something, right? It just looks weird. And they take that picture in the student section, for instance, at the football game. And you've got this really awkward looking face. And so somebody tags it, drunk at the game, ? And that gets sent out. Well, the people who see that, many of them don't just say, oh, wow, that was just a really weirdly timed, awkwardly timed picture. So sorry for that. They go, yeah, drunk. This is a lesson that I think our students need to see. That is not only what you do online that can have, that can impact you, but it's what other people do. And you need to be cautious when you're in situations. You need to be aware of how people are, or what people are doing with your likeness online, right? I think that we need to be very aware of that, and students need to be very vigilant. I look forward to hearing your comments about digital citizenship, how you teach digital citizenship, or other issues related to that that you see as problems or necessary areas to address, because this is such an interesting and important topic for our students. I think that more and more of them need to see this. Would love to hear your comments and how you are teaching digital citizenship. Thank you, and see you next episode.